This is a Donger deck discussion, and I'm Seth Holocron from the Dongers of Runeterra, and today I've decided that if Braum was totally busted when he was 1-6, then why can we not make a Braum deck that is going to be like the best Braum deck in the history of Braum decks? So let's show you what I'm thinking, okay? Freljord's amazing. It's amazing. And we got an amazingly, really good landmark. So I'm going to click this, and I'm actually going to change the name. I'm going to change the name. This is going to be Braum. And where is my Braum? There's my Braum. Let's put Braum in here and click that. So this is Braum Scars, because we're basing it around the 3-drop landmark, which I'm about to show you, which is this. It's the Scar Grounds. It's a landmark, takes up a thing on the side of your deck. Except when an ally survives damage, grant it +1 and tough. Now, Riot in their insanity sometimes do buffs to cards and buffs, especially the champions, that make them completely broken. Like stupid broken. And Braum was made a 1/5 instead of a 0/5. And yeah, and then he got a 3/3 overwhelm unit. I saw this. I immediately thought of Vladimir, but Vladimir is not competitive, and I don't really like making non-competitive decks. So it then got me thinking, after talking with a lot of people on various Discords, that Braum's excellent. If we put Braum with the Scar Grounds, with a Darius background and a whole load of overwhelm, surely to God we can't lose games. And I haven't, because this is great. I might actually take this in the next Donger League. This deck is fan-bloody-tastic. It really, really is. So, what's the deck? Okay, let's go up here. We're not using that many spells. Most people who watch these DDD videos of mine will see that in most decks I will go between 12 and 16 spells. We are at what I consider to be the very least amount, but I don't mind going down to 12 spells if I've got 3 landmarks, so that seems okay. Nothing for 0, nothing. We've got a couple of big things at 7 and 8 and a couple of 6s and all that kind of stuff, but you know, it's around about the 2, 3 and 4 mark, and a couple of 6s, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Remember, Darius costs 6, so bear that in mind, that we have 6 cards that cost 6 and 3 of them are champions. Well, that's okay then. So let's go into the deck. Bear in mind that Overwhelm is fantastic, and with Fearsome still being really, really good, Overwhelm decks have got the ability to be able to like crush most things. And it may possibly be my favourite deck ever. I took the Harrowing deck to the Donger League final and lost 2-1, but it was a very, very close final. This, I think, has got edges on it, because I think landmarks have actually made the game better. I know some people don't like some of them, that's fine. We're all entitled to our own opinion. So here we go. Blade's Edge, as we do, top to bottom. 2 of. And there's quite a lot of 2 ofs in this deck, because I think we need to be as open-minded and as... What's the right word? Yeah, I want to have lots of cards and do the things that I need to do. Okay, so Blade's Edge, we can actually damage something and deal 1 to it. We can also deal 1 to the Nexus. It's a very cool little card. And if you ever play against the AI, which you should do every now and again, it's in a lot of Noxus decks. And deal 1 to anything. Brilliant against aggro. Super. We're having 2 of. Omen Hawk, we're in Freljord. I'm sorry. I want an Overwhelm deck, and I'm still putting 3 Omen Hawks in. The idea that you get 2 cards that are allies in your deck, the top 2 get a 1/1+. That's excellent, because we are not running the Hearthguard. It's just not worth it, because it doesn't have Overwhelm. I am running 2 of these, though. And these could go down to 1s of, to be honest. But we do have 3 Dariuses. So you stun an enemy, and then if you have a Darius, you rally, and that's really good. Unfortunately, it's slow, and I don't really like slow spells. You know, that's at least fast. That's real slow, but brilliant. Especially if you're on an attack, do it, then stun an enemy, and then go off again, win the game. Arena Battlecaster, I'm not too sure actually needs to be in this deck at all, as we have got other things. So I've been thinking about this for a little while, and I think there are better things to be using than these two here. So I'm going to get rid of both of those, and let's go to the other two. Icefield Archer for 2. Really solid. Really, really, really solid. But a bit weak at a 3-1. What I really want is another one of these. So I'm going to add a third Ruthless Rider. This is brilliant. And in my opinion, even better than the Archer. It has Overwhelm. It also has Tough. So it doesn't get its buff from Scargrounds, but it lets the person know that, oh shit, we could be in trouble. Like, real trouble. Icefield Archer, brilliant because it frostbites something. Now, frostbite isn't going to get you anything, but it will frostbite any unit at all. So even really good against big, like field rush units or big, massive, deep things to kind of keep you alive for a while before you can throw back and overwhelm with everything. So Ruthless Raider we're going 3 of. Just 2 with the Archers. 2 Mites. I might even drop that down to 1, so we're going to come back to that. 2 Noxian Guillotines, simply because we're running 2 Blades Edges. So it gives you a next one and another one. It goes fleeting. So if you've got enough mana, you can then smash it and then just kill Nautilus. Just kill the 10-10, whatever just happens to come down. If you've managed to take off something, so say we Blades Edge for 1 into Aurelian Soul, and then do another one to damage it. Well, Noxian Guillotine kills it. That's real bad for people like that. 3 of the Scargrounds, because this is what the landmark has been based around. The entire deck is based around the fact that I want more +1s and, you know, tough, which is kind of cool. Whirling Death, I'm not so enamored with, so I'm probably going to take that down to 1. I only want 2 of these. Let's keep this how it is. Whirling Death is actually quite good. So it is. But I think... See, this I'm going to take out altogether. I don't think that's that good. I really don't think that's really that good at all. And you see, all of these... Interesting. I think... Oh dear. Dear. Making the balls of this, I apologize. So we want 2 of these. And let's go. I'm going to go more Overwhelm, but the thing is now I've only got 11 spells, and that's probably not enough. So I think I may have to go for... take out something. Well, we'll go back to... I mean, I'd love another good spell. Suppose we could just go a whole 2 things. We could drop that down. And then we could add the 2, which is Brothers Bond. Because I quite like Brothers Bond. Let's find Brothers Bond. Which is this. And now we're at back to 12. Okay, so let's go back up again. Blades Edge we talked about. Hawk, Apprehended. Brothers Bond, grant 2 allies +2. That's pretty damn good, even just to put on to Braum. Archer, Raider we've spoken about. Might, really good. Noxian Guillotine, a 2 off in the Scarground. So let's go from the Scargrounds and keep on going down. Whirling Death is you just put a whole load of people out, and when you're playing mid-game to late-game, you're going to get a whole load of stuff out. Well, if you've got an enemy that just smashes it to keep your champion alive, that's why we're running 2 of these. Braum, listen, we are here to try and get stuff to survive. So we need big units, and from Braum onwards, we have stuff with massive, massive health. So Braum starts as a 0-5. The first time he survives damage, he gets a Mighty Porro. The Mighty Porro is a 3-3 Overwhelm unit that if you trade properly so it only takes damage once, it then becomes, if you have the Scar Grounds out, it becomes tough as well. Crowd favourite, and all of these are just going to be 2s apart from Darius and Farron. But crowd favourite, Overwhelm, 2-1. You want to play him when you've got at least 3 people out, so you get +3, so he becomes a 5-4. That's really decent. If you can get 4 people out, that's really good, because then you're just doing brilliant, because it's even more. And then he'll probably survive, and he'll then get tough, and tough can be as good as Overwhelm, which is the whole premise of this deck. Tough and Overwhelm is going to be ridiculously hard for people to get through. Wolf Rider, Overwhelm. So if you plunder, which with an Overwhelm deck you're probably going to do, you get an empty mana gem, which will allow you to drop another spell. That could mean you're only maybe 1 or 2 off winning. If you have that spell that pings the damage, you know you can win the game with Wolf Rider if you put it down, but you still need the 4 mana to do it, so it's probably a very good thing to throw out. And then we get all the sort of stuff. So we're in the Scar Grounds. It would be remiss of me not to play the Scar Maiden Reaver. It has Overwhelm. It's a 4/5. It has Regeneration. Regenerating. Think about this. This regenerates. Regeneration is where it fully heals at the end of each round. One of our champions regenerates. The Scar Maiden Reaver. Oh, look. It regenerates and has Overwhelm. That's really damn good. That's really, 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 really damn good. Did I mention that we have like Might, where you give somebody +3 and Overwhelm this round just to really ruin somebody's day? Yeah, we're running 2 of those as well. And then I love this. I mean, the art on this card is utterly bonkers. Look at this. 2, 3 of these ridiculously huge, big, armored Tusk Raider elephant things. Utter destruction. And the text on the card is enemies with 4 or less power cannot damage me. Now, they can block. Even a 4 something can block, but you know, it's Overwhelm. It's going to do 2, and he's not going to lose anything here. And then he's going to survive, and then he gets tough as long as you get the Scar Grounds out. So that's really damn good. So the Tusk Rider is brilliant. Darius is a 6/5 that will go to a 10/6 when the Nexus hits half health, as in you've got it down to 10 or less. Darius then comes out as a 10/6, or if he's at the 6/5, throw him out at the end on the right-hand side of the screen and hope that some of your Overwhelm units can put it down, and then he hits for 10 Overwhelm, which is fantastic. And the last 2 cards are Savage Reckoner, which is the 2 I took out, apologies, but they're right back, is a 7/4 for 7, which is okay, but the fact that he is not only a 7/4, he's Overwhelm and Challenger, yeah, he's pretty good. And if you challenge something that only does, say, like 2 damage to him, then he becomes tough, and then he gets a 7/2, and yeah, he's really good for a couple of rounds. And Farron, if you get him at an 8/8 and tough, my god, and then you get 3 decimates. This whole thing is just, if we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially, with extra decimates. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, with 2 mites to give more of that, and things to hurt things, things to buff things. This deck is awesome. Please take this pinned comment. It's called Deckcode. Smack it. It's got the little hashtag if you're playing on your phone. This is hilarious. People don't know what to block. And that to me is amazing. When you're making your opponent freak out that they can't actually decide whether or not just to let it all through, to give them an attempt to attack back. Brilliant. It's a fabulous deck. This is actually really, really good fun to go on Gauntlet with. And I don't play an awful lot of Gauntlet, but my god, this is hilarious. Just play the deck. Let us know what you think about it. You can come and join us on the Dongers of Runeterra Discord, which is all good as well. So my name is Sith Holocron. This is my Donger deck discussion of Braums Scar Grounds. Play it. It's great fun. Thanks for watching. Till the next one. Dongers out.